Assalamualaikum and good morning to Madam Jo and my classmate. My name is Afiqah binti Afral and my group mate is Syamimi and also Farah hafizi. Our group get a topic on impact to airline industry due to world pandemic. To start off, as we all know that airline industry is one of the most affected sector. This world pandemic caused a loss of airlines worldwide in 2020. Dramatic drop in demand for passenger air transport has also been recorded. It's been a struggle for airline industry to keep their business ongoing. Next, I will explaining about social impact to airline industry due to this world pandemic. Unfortunately, pilots, stewards, stewardess and so many people in the airline industry has been losing their source of income. Company can afford to pay their workers, so they have no other choice than firing their employees. This is due to not having a customer and unable to make a profit. All these people in the airline industry literally need to struggle and find another way to survive. As we can notice, people in the airline industry that are affected now do something like online business, they sell food and also do a service like house cleaning service. As for the next slide, I will be explaining about what has been done by airlines. So first, Malaysian Airlines, they decided to distribute their signature savoury peanuts in a special gift box and sell it. The nuts were sold for RM50 on the Temptations online store. Surprisingly, Malaysians actually went nuts over these salted peanuts as it sold in less than 2 hours. Malaysian travellers actually had mentioned before that they missed some of airline snacks. So a decision to sell this salted peanut has been beneficial to both sides, travellers and also the companies. As for the second one, Singapore Airlines launched a no destination flight. It is a flight that embarked and disembarked at Changi Airport. This flight to nowhere are expected to last about 3 hours long. According to a survey of 308 people by the Singapore Air Charter, 75% of them were willing to pay for these trips. This initiative will help SIA to bounce back after has been badly hit by the COVID-19 pandemic.
Assalamualaikum and a very good day to Madam Johanna. I am Syamimi binti Khairul Nizam and I'm going to talk about economic impact to airline industry due to world pandemic. There's a lot of economic impact to airline industry and some of them are low demand, low revenue, companies had to close its business, leave without pay, and employees being laid off. First of all, low demand. This happened because most countries close its border, so people cannot get in or get out from certain countries as usual. They decided to do this because they want to avoid from the virus to spreading out inside their country and end up affecting their local residents. As people cannot get in or get out from certain countries, this will show a decrease in total demand of airline. Second, low revenue. This is because nowadays people didn't travel because they want to protect themselves from getting into packed places or crowded places where the infection risks are high. During time like this, people prefer to stay at home. And on the other side, airline will got low revenue because there is no demand. Third, companies had to close its business because of low demand and low revenue. Some companies didn't have other choice other than closing the business. Some of the reason why they need to close the business is, for example, maybe before this pandemic arise, they fly about 10,000 flights a day. But after this pandemic arise, they need to limit their number of flights to take precautions about the virus from spreading out. Next, leave without pay. It is a days off without pay. For example, a steward take a days off and didn't get paid as usual because the company had not enough money to pay for the employees' salaries. And the only choice that they have is by letting their employees to take a days off without getting paid. Other than that, employee being laid off. it is a temporary expansion of employment for business reason. For example, a steward getting expansion from going to work as usual because the amount of jobs is not as much as before because the amount of flight that fly a day is limited and it affect their job. The employee need to wait for the company's call to call them back to go to work as usual. On the next slide, I'm going to talk about what has been done by the industry to overcome this impact. First of all, offered low price. For example, a flight tickets from Kuala Lumpur to Langkawi before this pandemic arise is 200. But after this pandemic arise and the demands are low, the company lowered the price to 150. So that people that are not able to purchase the ticket before are able now, and this will increase the demand. Other than that, they offered discount. For example, a company can make a poster and stated in the poster that they are having a 30% off or maybe 50% off. So this will attract more people to purchase the ticket because people are so fast when they see the word discount. Next, control people's movement. This is when a people arrive at the airport, they need to take a swab test and they need to be quarantined for 2 weeks. And after the results of the test are out, the positives will get warded while the negatives are free to go wherever they are headed to. Last but not least, the government also has strengthened the standard operation procedure where everyone need to wear their mask wherever they are. And if they fail to do so, they need to pay a fine worth 1,000 ringgit. Other than that, government also make a rule where everyone need to keep their social distancing by standing 1 meter away from each other. This in fact will help the government to flatten the curve. And that is all from me. My friends will continue on the next slide.
Hi, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Farah hafizi, and today in this video, I'm going to share with you guys about environmental impact to airline industry due to this pandemic. As we know, pandemic gave a lot of negative effect to the economic status and also society. But for some reason, we also can see pandemic in a good way, especially for environmental system. Flying takes a lot of energy by releasing a lot of carbon dioxide into the atmosphere. If we look into the slide that I prepared, literally it says aircraft engines combust full to emit gas, carbon dioxide, water vapor, nitrogen oxides or carbon monoxides, which is lead to global warming, and it is pollutant in the lower atmosphere, where it destroys the stratospheric ozone layer in the high altitudes. Forget also what is pandemic help actually for our environmental system. First of all, it helped to reduce air pollution. Second, it improved our atmosphere quality. Third, helped stratospheric ozone layer to recover. Fourth, improve air quality in different cities around the world. And fifth, but last but not least, reduce fuel and fossil consumptions and help reduce GHG's emission too. As we human that continues to stay at home and stay indoors during this coronavirus pandemic, actually we help Earth to heal a lot. As a billion people quarantine and business closed, travel slowed down a little bit, has all but had come to halt, significantly decreasing carbon dioxide emission. As we know, aircraft engine combust a lot of carbon dioxide and also fuel, and also they also combust fossil. It's not good for our Earth actually. So in fact, 2020 is on attack to see the largest yearly global decline ever in emissions. Verta from lead analyst at the Helsinki-based Center for Research on Energy and Clean Air said that the cleaner pandemic skies do show how fast we can bring down pollution when we reduce our burning fossil fuels. In this video, I'm gonna share with you guys about what is actually happened to our skies during this pandemic because of there is not a lot of airplane go around the sky. In India, where air pollution has become the world's worst ever, people are reporting that they start to see Himalayas for the first time from where they live. from areas in North India, which is Jalandhar, the Himalayas became visible again for the first time after a decade. This is actually because of their air quality improved due to this drop pollution. It's not just in India, but also people who live in China and other mountainous regions of the US, also in the Jakarta, also being able to see their horizons clearly for the first time without any smoke. So this is actually a big impact to our earth, actually, that we can see the clear skies before and after a decade. It's clearly good for our earth. It's not just Himalayas and other mountains, but also in India there is India Gate that I put on my slide, which is you can see the clear, there is no smoke at all in India Gate, which is the top picture shows the India Gate War Memorial on October 17, 2019, and I show the after lockdown, which is on April 8. It is really different, which is you can see there is no smoke at all, and you can clearly see the gate beautifully, you know. So we go to the second slide, which is I show you the condition on Jakarta, which is less smoke, like I said before. The top picture shows a typical view of high-rise buildings in Jakarta that covered by smoke, capital on July 4th, 2019. And then the bottom picture shows the same view, the same building, and the same angle, which is in pandemic during April 16, which is we clearly can see a lot of buildings better than we can see before. And the third slide is still in India, which is New Delhi, India, and I put like 11 right. So the left picture shows that the buildings on November 8, 2019, and after air pollution levels started to drop during 20 days after lockdown. So here is the picture, the right one, the newest picture ever. So you can see clearly how beautiful the sky is when there is no smoke at all. So the fourth example that I show in this slide is one of the tweets that I got from Twitter, which is this is viral a past few minutes ago on March. I think he posted on 18 March, and it was after 6 days of lockdown. You can see clearly the fish are visible and the swans returned back to the canals, which will always use this in Venice to do a transportation job, which is when travelers come to Venice, they always come to this spot because this is like one of the specialty of the Venice itself. So after 6 days, there is no people use that transportation. There is swan and fish are visible that we can see clearly in the canals. So the last but not least for my example and for my slide, which is Venice canals run clear, dolphins appears in Italy's waterways amid coronavirus lockdown on 8 September 2020. So dolphins even come to the canals again after this lockdown. We can see how actually this pandemic really heal our environmental system back. They recover again after all the damages that we made for earning money. You know, sometimes people use this to earn money, and this is one of the jobs that are requirements to that live in underwater. So after, I think actually pandemic gave a lot of positive impact to our environmental system. So what the exact reason why this pandemic gave a lot of positive impact to our environmental system? This is because people stopped traveling and all the attraction transportation had been slowed down and some of them literally closed. When no one using airline industry service, we can see sky become clear and more clear and clean. But not just that, the sky, our other environments such as a sea, island, or even a river get to heal and help to recover from any damages caused by unwanted disposal things. Like we all know, when no one using the transportation system, especially airline industry, there's no one gonna go out from our country because of there is no other transportation that will help them to go further than what they can. And so on. For the Venice cases, there is less need for transportation of any kind to be running, and the canals with less boats are coming up clean, clear and beautiful. So because of people stop using any transportation system that have at any country, so this is actually helps a lot of our environmental habitat or anything like that to recover and come back to their actual habitat. Before this, human using their own places where they want to live, but when this all are been restriction, all been slowed down, so they come back to their places that we can see how clearly the Venice itself, dolphin comes to canals again, and in India we can see the Himalayas again without any smoke. It is really beautiful things that happen in our environment. So in Venice also they're using boats, right, for the transportation that travelers always use, and the attraction that people always come to Venice. So that boat is actually bring sediment to the top of the water surface that is literally polluted the water surface. So while we are all having a tough time during the lockdown, actually we help some species to live on again and adjusting the measure of the environmental system back. So let's take a moment to acknowledge the small silver lining and celebrate Mother's Nature's short breath of fresh air unimpeded by our incessant global travel. Like wise men said, nature just hit the button reset on us. So before I end my sharing about environmental impact for airline industry due to this pandemic, I want to add a little bit what are the fact that aircraft engines actually helps to our sky. So we talk about airline industry, right? So what is actually the impact of airline industry due to this pandemic to our environmental system? Which is, if you want to know, actually in China, lockdowns and other measures resulted in 25% reduction in carbon emissions and 50% reduction in nitrogen oxide emission, which one our system scientists estimated may have saved at least 77,000 lives over 2 months. So like we all know, this is actually helps a lot of other live to live happily. So now we're coming back to our last segment, which is recommendation. We put two things to overcome this social and economic problem for airline industry, which is the first one is for economic system. Like we all know, because of this pandemic, travel airline industry stopped working and there is no income. So what airline industry can do to overcome this problem is do a creative collaboration with another company. Like for example, AirAsia do a collab with Foodpanda company by supplying the famous nasi lemak Pak Nasir that are so well known to their customer. So this is actually help a little bit for AirAsia economy to improve a little bit during this pandemic, because people doesn't use their service for traveling to another country. So what they can do is collab with another company to promote other brand and other products to deliver to the customer. So for the second recommendation, which is I state for social, how we want to improve our social status for airline industry is we need to build our branding and enhance commercial strategy, which is we need to focus in building and engaging our target audience before our competitor does and stimulating our future demand. And we should focus on how to promote our service well known. Like I said, we need to focus on building our customer and engaging with our customer, which is this is the right time to enhance all the ideas how we want to to attract our customer to use our service later on after we can use the travel industry back. To drive more value, airports should concentrate on loyalty programs, strategic pricing, and partnership with employees or communities or programs or government or tourism association and chambers of commerce. Anyone who are in airline industry should focus efforts on promotional vouchers, discount and return passengers vouchers targeting their next purchase. During this COVID-19 times, companies that involved in airline industry should expand targets to include non-travelers and arrival passengers while diversifying distribution channels. If they take a good and strategic types today or now on, they will continue to define their brands and market positioning in the month or years in the future. People who are responsibilities in airline industry need to use this opportunity wisely to tap new sources of revenue, lower sales channel costs, and further build their branding. The post-coronavirus chaos will alternatively offer a unique opportunity to reframe the foundation of a global airline industry. And when will everything go back to the place or go back normal? It is actually airline industry already start their services, but in the slightest way. And there is also a requirement and condition to follow if you want to go abroad. Actually, airline industry start working on their services, so they start to recover back their income, and actually this will help their branding to go further if they take the opportunity in the wise way. So that's all from me. Thank you so much.
To conclude, we can see that the downside has been overshadowing the good effects. Airline industry need to always have a good backup plans in case a challenging situation happen again in the future. But whatever it is, we need to try our best in supporting our own local economy in this hard time. Together, we rise again. #kita jaga kita. Thank you.